Welcome in. Cheers to the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour. I am enjoying a refreshing, it's a virgin drink, my friends. It's a virgin drink. I'm just going LaCroix this evening. I don't feel like drinking this evening, but it is a happy hour, so make sure to drop me a comment. Let me know what you're having for this evening's happy hour. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment if you'd like to participate in today's discussion. I hope everyone is having a very nice week. Actually, before we kick off things, I always say this, but, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on TradingView. You can even find me on Instagram. @CryptoBullGod is one word. So the year is flying very quickly. I don't know about you, but I don't know. It's the older I get, it just seems like the years are just continually going faster and faster and faster. I can't believe we're going to be in 2023. It's pretty insane. Welcome in, Neffy. Glad to see you, brother. Or sister, I forget. Brother, sister? Either way, glad to have you here. Yeah, so the year is flying. And, really what I wanted to do this evening, I wanted to do something a little bit different. As you could tell by my thumbnail, I was in Crypto Bull God, true form there, and I looked pretty excited, right? Bitcoin to the moon. And essentially, what I really want to do today is something I think a little bit quite different than perhaps a lot of other influencers are focusing on at the moment. And that is, I want to focus on market psychology, but more specifically, I want to focus on bull market euphoria, market psychology. And I'm going to relate it to the current times. We are in a period right now, okay? We are in a period right now where the pessimism is at such a high level that the price targets that are being given for projects like Bitcoin are unrealistic. And while I'll always say that there is a probability for everything, because there are, I say this over and over and over again, there are no certainties in life besides living and dying, right? And that's just a fact. However, some of the targets that are being given and some of the talk related to the market in terms of when things might turn around again, it's just gotten so pessimism because it's the polar opposite of bull market euphoria. We're in a period where we have fear porn, what I like to call crypto fear porn. We're in bear market euphoria, okay? And as a result, there are a lot of consistent things being stated by people with the loudest voices, the biggest megaphones, stating unrealistic things. Okay, there are maximalists out there, and I'm not going to name names, but there are maximalists out there. For instance, I saw someone whose work I actually do appreciate. I follow him on YouTube, and he had tweeted something out that, what we're undergoing right now is the cleansing of the crypto market, and, Bitcoin is going to separate. You hear these news narratives all the time. If you've been here long enough, by the way, you hear this all the time. Maximalism is ignorance, but that Bitcoin is going to set itself apart. It's going to make new all-time highs moving forward, essentially be the people's currency. And that term is reserved for another project, but it's going to be the people's currency. And all the other projects are just going to die away, right? Regulation is going to come out, and it's going to kill everything else, right? And, I hear this sort of thing, and this is my expression. I mean, I just roll my eyes, right? And so instead of focusing, okay, for the moment, instead of focusing on the bear market euphoria that exists in the market right now and calling for unrealistic price levels, what I want to do is I want to get in a DeLorean, hit 88 miles per hour. I think that was the speed. And I want to go back in time to when things were very euphoric, because people tend to forget history in general. We tend to live in the moment of today and forget what yesterday was like. Okay? And it's very important that if we're going to learn from the past, that we revisit things, have a discussion, so that we're better prepared for tomorrow. Now, as you know, and nothing has changed on my end, I am in the boat, the minority, by the way, because most people do not see things this way. I am in the small boat of individuals who thinks that the market as a whole, Bitcoin and the market as a whole, will see new all-time highs by next year, okay? I am very, very, very open to being wrong because I've been wrong before and I will be wrong again. Just like I've been right before and I will be right again. There's no analyst out there that gets 100% of things correct or incorrect, okay? If they get 100% of things incorrect, you may want to unfollow them. But the point is while no one out there knows with a crystal ball in terms of what's going to occur next year, whether we are going to see another cycle top, okay, or new all-time highs is what I'm getting at. Whether we're going to see new all-time highs next year, like I believe, or whether we're going to see new all-time highs in 2024, or hell, maybe even 2025, we need to be prepared for the emotions that will set in during that phase. Crypto has a way of turning on a dime. The news narratives right now are that because of FTX and all the bullshit going on with the regulators, that this is it, and this is going to stifle all the innovation, and we're never going to have another bull cycle again, and we're going to 2023 going into the halving is going to be chippy choppy. We may never even see another cycle again. There's just so much of that bullshit out there, but the reality is there'll be some news narrative, some event, something that will happen, and then it'll be like a domino effect, and you'll see more and more positive articles coming out. The news narrative will shift, okay? And we have to be prepared for that. And that's what I'm here to discuss with you today. I want to go back in time, and what I want to revisit with you is some of the outlandish things that were said in times past when the prices were at a euphoric state. This is what I want to do, and I was here for this. I was here for all of this coverage that I'm going to go over with you today. Now let's go back to 2018. So just to set the stage, the first bit of articles that I want to show you, okay, it surrounds the time frame of right around this time period right in here, okay? Right as Bitcoin was topping in 2018, okay, and we had hit nearly $20,000. Also, some of the coverage comes in this area too when Bitcoin was around $7,000, $8,000, okay, and we kind of cooled off, right? But I want you to keep that in mind. So while there was a huge euphoric state within the market, there were a lot of individuals who came out and made some really outlandish calls for Bitcoin. And I want you to relate it to today, because what I can't stand are people that are, look at my thumbnail, okay? I can't stand that as much as I can't stand people who are as overly pessimistic today as they are and calling for outlandish things. Both people to me at both ends of the spectrum are way too emotional, and I don't have room for that within my investment approach. I don't have room for that. So let's have a conversation in terms of what took place back in 2018. You can see this article here was published December 25th, 2017. Bitcoin price predictions for 2018. So December 25th was around the time that Bitcoin had actually topped. We're around $20,000, okay? So these were Bitcoin price predictions for the year 2018. Now, I will remind you before we look at these predictions, for those unfamiliar, in 2018, what happened? There was a massive descending triangle that played out in 2018. And as a result, we kept hitting the $5,800 to $6,200 floor. It eventually broke, and we went all the way down to $3,100. So I want you to keep that in mind going into 2019, okay? All right. Down here, it says in 2018, A lot of traders are predicting somewhere between $10,000 to $50,000. Okay. I thought there was something else in this article. It must have not been. It must be the next one. Okay, so this is the top 5. This is the top 5 worst Bitcoin price predictions for 2018. Okay, let's go down here and have fun with this. First was Tom Lee. For you guys, I don't know if you guys know who Tom Lee is, Fund Strat Manager Tom Lee, but I've spoken about him a few times. I have nothing against Tom Lee, but neck's a little sore. Need to get a new pillow. But I was here, and when Bitcoin was hitting that floor at around 58 to 6,200, he believed that was presenting strength in the price. I will never forget that. He said that represented strength, that we kept bouncing off of 58 to 6,200. And here I am. I was just a little CBG at that point. I was just mini CBG. And mini CBG thought to himself as a technical analyst, no, the more we hit the floor, the more it weakens, right? I tell you that all the time, guys, right? So he was predicting 20, here's his tweet. Not his tweet, but it refers to the article here. Fundstrat's Tom Lee predicts $25,000 Bitcoin price by 2018's end. Well, we went down to $3,100, so that was a little off, right? To the moon! Somebody, a Danish investment bank, Saxo Bank, K. Van Peterson, who projected at the beginning of 2018 that the Bitcoin price would reach, here's this magical number again. I feel like, the cynical part of me, and I'm not a cynical person, but the cynical part of me says Bitcoin will never hit $100,000 because I always see these price targets for Bitcoin at $100,000, right? And it's a psychological thing. I've always told you guys, like $1, $10, $100, $100,000. It's a psychological level, so it's natural for people to go for this dollar level. Okay. This person from this bank said that Bitcoin was going to hit $100,000 by the end of 2018. Okay. Here's this one. Mike Novogratz. I'm sure most of you guys know who Mike Novogratz is. Bitcoin could be at $40,000 at the end of 2018. $40,000 at the end of 2018. Here's another one. Let's go check this one out because I didn't even click on this one yet. All right. Well, I won't go to the tweet, but oh no, I can go to the tweet. Here we go. BitMEX chief predicts Bitcoin price to hit $50,000 in 2018. A lot of bullish calls coming in as there's a lot of bull euphoria at the moment. I have this. Yeah, this is the same article with that Saxo Bank individual that said $100,000 in 2018. Novogratz, Bitcoin could easily reach $40,000 by the end of 2018. Yep, didn't happen. And here's Novogratz again. It just amazes me, this guy. I've never been a big Mike Novogratz fan, personally. But anyway, here he's coming out. Now, this was 9 months ago. Now, let me remind you the time period we were at 9 months ago, approximately. Where we were at 9 months ago, my apologies, where we were at 9 months ago was approximately, actually, let me go to the weekly chart. This is a lot better. 9 months ago would have been right around this price area here, right? So we had topped out at $69,000. We had come down all the way down to like the $30,000 to $40,000 range and started rebounding. During this rebound is when sharing my screen in a way I don't want to there for a moment. During that rebound was when he had come out with this article. This was before all the calamity started happening within the market, that Bitcoin's going to $500,000 in 5 years. So what he's implying there is that in the year 2027, okay, by early 2027, Bitcoin's going to be at $500,000. Can I just say something about this real quick? Okay, thank you. Not only is he coming out with this price prediction during a heightened state of euphoric emotion within the market, but he's also giving a 5-year prediction. Guys, nobody knows I think it's somewhat fun to have a hypothetical conversation in 5 to 10 years what something could be worth. But this guy has a loud voice. He gets in front of news publications, media outlets, and he needs to understand the what word am I looking for? Wow. He needs to understand that it's a big responsibility. That's the word I'm looking for. He has a responsibility to come out and represent the space very well. So for him to come out and say this thing's going to hit $500,000 in 5 years, I think misrepresents the space, and it's disingenuous to me. I don't think there's any place for this sort of commentary, really. I think this is just pure speculation, and it's frustrating to see this is what grabs the news headlines. Anyway, here's some more top 10 expert price predictions for 2018 and beyond. I thought there was, Pantera Capital said 20,000 by December 2018, so by the end of the year. Again, $3,100 is what we got. We went through Tom Lee. Max Kaiser, I'm sure you guys know Max Kaiser. He said $28,000 was in play as of April. He was polled in April, and he said in 2018, we'd hit $28,000. Alistair said $35,000 to $60,000. Here, look at this guy. We all know this guy. Anthony Pompliano. Anthony Pompliano was calling for a $50,000 Bitcoin by December of 2018. John Pfeiffer. Who the hell's John Pfeiffer? I don't know. Some guy. Probably with some bank. $75,000. Geez, we haven't even... Guys, it's 2023 in a couple weeks here. We still haven't hit $75,000. But this guy was calling for $75,000 by December 2018. And then we also have the famous call. I'm not even going to give any attention to John McAfee because that was a joke. Tim Draper, of course, has been on record, and Brian Kelly also, $250,000 by 2022. So clearly that hasn't happened. Just a little bit more, and I'm going to get to the comments here because I want to come to more recent times. These are the worst price predictions of 2019. Now, 2019, and again, keep in mind why I'm going through this with you guys. I want you to remember these were price predictions during a period of time where there was a lot of euphoria. Just like today, there's a lot of bear euphoria and there are unrealistic targets being given. There was a lot of bull euphoria and there were unrealistic targets being given. We need to keep that in mind for the present day to understand why there's a lot of unrealistic targets being given. We also need to keep this in mind moving forward because just like that, the market will turn. Bitcoin will be above 20, above 30, above 50. How are you going to respond to this? Do you think Bitcoin's going into a super cycle and it's going to hit $500,000? Or do you want to be realistic and right now you should have been spending the time understanding what are some realistic targets for Bitcoin once we break $69,000? Where realistically could we go and what is my sell exit strategy? Am I even selling? Do I just want to hold for the next 10 years? Or what is my sell strategy? You need to know that now because you're going to get a lot of these fluff articles coming out. So 2019, let me go through a couple more of these and I'll get to the comments. 2019, I remember this area very well. This was one we rode from 3,100 all the way up to 14,000. It was just shy of 14,000. We were in this area here, okay? Right in this area. So now everybody, if we go back to the articles during that time when we rode so quickly from $3,100 and we had a hanging man doji, we had a gravestone doji. I remember that printed. But besides the gravestone doji and besides we did like a 4 or 5x, we have people here calling for these outlandish targets. Mike Novogratz said 20,000. Some German bank said 90,000. Anthony Pompliano said $100,000. Simon Peters, I don't even know who this is. He said $100,000. So again, just predictions that are just way off base. The only other... Oh, man, what is going on here? I had one other article I wanted to get to. Don't you love when Microsoft takes a shit on you right during a live stream? This was the last article I wanted to get to. So this guy, Dan Held, I don't know if you know Dan Held, but I know some of his commentary with Bitcoin super cycles and the price predictions that he had out there. I guess he works for Kraken. They annoyed me. And guys, what I'm about to tell you should indicate to you that just because I'm the crypto bull god, I'm also the crypto realistic god, okay? So, if somebody is tweeting a lot of things that do not add value to the space and are clogging up my news feed, if it's overly bullish or overly bearish, I just mute people. I muted this guy. I couldn't stand his tweets because they were just way too out there in terms of what he was saying. I want you to keep in mind, this is the same guy. I don't know if it was 2020 or 2021. He was calling for Bitcoin to go through some super cycle to hit between 288,000 to 300,000 between 2020 or 21, okay? We're going to have a super cycle. And the super cycle conversation will come up again. I promise you. I will actually promise you that once we start getting a lot of bullish momentum building again, people will bring up this fucking super cycle concept, okay? Look at what this guy says here. We could settle between 50 trillion and 150 trillion, right? Now, this was at a point when this article was published. This was in October of 2021. This was at a heightened state of euphoria. Bitcoin was still up it actually says here. This week it rose up to $55,000, so it had reached $1 trillion, but there was a section of this article, again, I want to point out the kind of BS that's put out there when things are super euphoric. Read this. Read this with me, okay? Pantera Capital CEO Dan Moorhead, okay, said this, that the overall cryptocurrency market capitalization could hit $40 trillion in 5 years. Now, I'm not saying that at some point the market could not hit $40 trillion. I'm not saying otherwise. But to come out and give a specific price, these years of 5 years, and it just all these astronomical values and years that are given with them, it just adds so much unnecessary euphoria to the market. And it's quite frankly why people talk about, in this space, Moonboy talk, right? And that's why I put the thumbnail I put together, okay? So really, I just want you to remember all these articles out there, all these price targets that are being given in terms of, $100,000, $50,000 back in 2018. All these really high price targets that were given, it was during a time in the market that was very euphoric. No one felt we would, I remember reading on Twitter, no one felt we would ever undergo a massive correction again, okay? Just like right now, no one thinks we will ever undergo a mass appreciation again. This is what happens when people are depressed. And in the past, it's what happens when people have Bitcoin rose-colored glasses on, and they are literally on some sort of drug, figuratively speaking, okay? So I really hope that you keep that in mind moving forward, because I know there's going to be several people tweeting to me at some point, hey, Crypto Bull God, do you really think Bitcoin's going to hit $300,000 by the end of 2023? And my response will be, fuck no. Did you watch any of the videos that I produced on YouTube? Clearly you did not. So let me get to the comments here, and then we're going to jump into some charts actually. So let's see what we got. I like to see this. I see quite a few comments in here, which is nice to see. Crypto is going to zero, bro. Encash official in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Crypto is going to zero. Yeah, either that or like $50 trillion in the next 5 years, right? Either way. Kramer told you? Yeah, he seems to know a lot about crypto. I just saw something that he commented that apparently Solana, Doge, and XRP are all cons. I don't even know what that means, but Jim Cramer said it, so it must be true. He knows a lot about crypto. Yeah, Kevin, look, it's anyone's educated guess. That's what I'm saying. Like my educated view is that, I think I believe next year will catch a lot of people by surprise. I do see new all-time highs coming in next year. Now, like I said, I'm very open to the possibility that I'm just dead wrong because, we're all, at the end of the day, the people who are value-added content contributors are all taking an educated view and just sharing that with you in a very honest and transparent way. So that's my honest view. Again, could we top out and set new all-time highs in 2024, 25, 26, 27? Maybe it takes 5 years, okay? It's anyone's educated guess. No one knows. But I do think next year, to use the $100,000 psychological mark, I do think that we're going to rally past that figure. Things are going to get pretty damn euphoric next year. And people will be calling for super cycles and 300,000 plus Bitcoin, and that's when you know the top is near, besides charts telling you. All right, someone's finally sharing with me what you do realize this is a happy hour, right? Just because I'm not drinking a drink and I'm having a lime LaCroix doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a glass next to you. Let me know what you're having. So Guinness. Nice, Kevin. Oh, yeah. Nick, I completely agree. If Bitcoin does indeed hit 100,000, well, I should say this. While there's no certainty, my belief is strong enough to say that when it does hit, because I do think it's just a matter of time, whenever it does go to $100,000 plus, there will be a massive amount of FOMO. And people that don't know any better will be buying at $100,000 plus, really thinking that those are great levels to get into, and you're going to see it rise to prices perhaps beyond some fib targets, and it's going to get really frothy and euphoric, and that's when the smart people will be exiting, and the dumb people will be watching it, go below 90, 80, 70, 60, and they're down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. So yeah, but it's a cycle that repeats itself over and over again. He did get lunared. Yeah, I agree, Evan. The next 2 to 10 years, I agree. So what I get from your comment, Evan, which I agree with, is, and we're going to get into a chart that speaks to this, I do think the next several weeks are going to be chippy-choppy, even the next few months. More than likely will be chippy-choppy, but over the long term, I mean, again, based on all the charts and data science models that I've gone over in nauseum, and other great ones out there from a lot of other content creators out there that add a lot of value to the space too, long term, the odds are in our favor that, dollar cost averaging in at any of these levels the past several months is going to be astronomically, it's going to be generationally beneficial to you from a wealth transfer perspective. Generational wealth transfer, right? That's what I always talk about. One of the few traders whose opinion I respect has not once become a maxi or created shitty trading camps or NFTs to shill. Oh, thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. I was like, who are you talking about? At first, Patrick, when you were commenting, I was like, wow, who is this awesome person that you respect? Oh, you're talking about me. Oh, well, thank you very much, Patrick. I appreciate that. He always kept his integrity. Jack and Coke. Nice, my friend. Very, very nice. Patrick's been a very long time supporter since like the very, very beginning. I've been actually doing this for a little while now, but Patrick's been a really strong supporter since the beginning, and I really appreciate his efforts to support my content. So, cheers, Jack and Coke, solid drink. Brings me back to my college days when I think about Jack and Coke, and that was too many years ago. Yeah, Neffy, you're spot on. Actually, I've had conversations with people about this. I've had conversations with Nick about this, actually. If I really wanted to blow up my content, or if Nick wanted to blow up his content, or any content creator wanted to blow up his content, you put clickbait out there. You get a sense in terms of what's going to... you lead people in an unauthentic way, right? It's one thing to it's one thing to put something a little grabby out there to get people's attention, to make sure they click on your video, right? But then if you have value-added content that follows, okay. But a lot of these people that are putting out these targets, and it's for clicks. I completely agree with you. Yeah, I don't know about BitBoy. I don't know what his predictions were. So to Nick's point on the 250,000 by the end of the year and Moon Carl, I did not want to bring his name up. And I actually had contemplated going to his YouTube page and looking for thumbnails during the euphoric periods. But I didn't want to call attention to his content. I didn't want to. But I think everybody knows who that guy is. Interesting story about Moon Carl I want to share with you guys real quick. So hopefully here everybody knows who Moon Carl is, all right? When he first started putting out videos in 2018, I was a subscriber to his channel. And his videos, I still remember the format of them. I found some value in his TA videos. Crypto YouTubers weren't as prominent back in 2018 as they are now. So it was kind of hard to find a lot of value-added TA people out there. But to his credit, I thought his TA content was decent. I did. I thought it was decent, else I wouldn't have subscribed. So I actually was a subscriber for a little while there. And at some point, I don't know when, I forget when, but at some point, his content just went off the rails in terms of being authentic and good TA, and it was just clickbaity and attention grabbing, and I got off the train. So he used to be a lot different way back, several years back. So I don't know what the hell happened to him, but so I try not to give him any attention. What if you sold because it went parabolic and you have been in crypto for 10 years? No, wait a second. Hold on. I want to understand this question. What if you sold? So, Evan, what if you sold because it went parabolic and you have been in crypto for 10 years and you miss the next real cycle? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I mean, the whole point is, if you're allowing here's the thing, if you're allowing education to steer your investment choices, and in terms of when you want to scale out of an investment and scale in, if you're convicted on when to scale out and your assets have appreciated greatly in value, you should feel solid on that. Whether you end up being correct or incorrect, if you're allowing your education to guide your, in this example, sell decisions, then, I mean, clearly, if you're selling out of a parabola, that's going to pay dividends to you years down the road because you'll be able to scale in at cheaper prices. So, not quite sure what you mean by that. Yeah. Well, Evan, you can always sell if you're allowing education to make your decisions. You can always sell at higher prices and buy in at lower prices. But it is important to, one thing this makes me think about is no one knows when exactly things are going to top or bottom. So that's why it's important to scale out of an investment. I have talked about this endlessly. So if you're making a decision to sell, don't sell at what, first off, don't pick a dollar level and sell everything at that dollar level. That's very ignorant, because what if it doesn't hit that dollar level exactly? So you have to be humble, okay? Else the market will humble you. Be humble, pick a range, okay? There should be margin with it. Let's say you ultimately think Bitcoin's going to hit $120,000. Well, you want to pick a range in there. Maybe scale out at 95, then 110, then 112, and or whatever the values are. But you want to make sure that you're scaling out at sensical levels, and leaving a little on the table. Leaving a little on the table if it runs hotter and higher than you think. And that's all based on your risk tolerance level. Yeah, so as far as never selling all of your Bitcoin, there is a portion, and I'm just speaking for myself, there is a portion of my portfolio that's going to be on my ledger that I don't intend on selling. Even though my view is that ultimately we're going to get to really heightened levels here at some point. We're going to hit new all-time highs. And the smartest thing you can do is scale out and buy in at lower prices. There is going to be a smaller percentage of my portfolio I'm just not going to sell, and I'll keep on my ledger. So I have a couple ledgers. Yeah, 5 to 10 trillion. 10 trillion would put Bitcoin closer to $600,000, Evan. If I saw ETH at 300, would you buy as much as humanly possible? Well, if ETH was at $300, that would be called a capitulation wick. First off, I don't see that happening. But secondly, if that happened, let's take a look at Ethereum. It's at 1280 right now. But if that happened, it wouldn't be there long. I mean, you would get a quick wick down. Everyone would be buying the shit out of it, and it would, the buyer demand would eat that thing up. So, clicks or chicks, bro. Drinking some H2O, nice. I drink I'm curious if anybody cares to share. I drink at least a gallon of water a day, if not more. I drink probably more than that. What else? Wanted to get into some charts here. Okay, let's get into some charts. Appreciate everyone's comments. So I'm going to run through a few different charts, provide some commentary, and then I'm going to leave it open for a little bit of Q&A here. Again, trying to keep the live streams a little bit shorter in duration. I've noticed that a lot of them have gone perhaps a little too long. I've gotten some feedback on that, and I've also thought about it myself. And I welcome, by the way, I welcome and appreciate the feedback. But especially when people are going back and watching this in syndication, should I say in syndication? No, when they're not able to watch it live and they're going back, some of these videos just tend to get too long. So I want to try to keep the live streams to around 40 minutes, which we're already coming up against the 40-minute clock here. So, hey, Nick, thank you for checking in, my friend. Thank you for checking in. Appreciate the support. Have a good evening. All right. Or I'm actually not sure what time zone you're in. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. Good morning. A good night. Welcome in, Crypto. Ryan is in the house, a fellow YouTuber. All right, let's check out some charts. This is the bullish divergence I've indicated that everyone should keep an eye on for Bitcoin. Okay. Just covered this on the Bitcoin weekly close. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart. RSI is increasing, price is decreasing. We'll have to see how this kind of plays out here. I just tweeted about this. This is the Williams alligator chart, okay? This is the ADX and DI. Just use pattern recognition. You don't even have to be a chartist. Anytime so basically this horizontal dotted line here at 20, you see this black line? Let me click on here. See this black line here, horizontal? That's your trigger line, okay? When the green is above the trigger line and the red is below the trigger line, that's your bullish signal. Look at how many times when that's happened, what happened with the price with the arrows, okay? So we're looking at both sort of just zigzagging around. We're going to have to see. I want to see how this thing looks come like the middle of January. So I want to say like a month, around 6 to 7 weeks from now, let's revisit this and see what it looks like. Now, this is the chart I wanted to talk about. This is the chart. This is one chart that doesn't leave me feeling very confident that prices are going to recover quickly. Okay, we closed below this green line. This is the monthly. Okay, this is the monthly. I've spoken about this before. We closed below the green line. You can see that there. This leaves me feeling like the probabilities are higher that we're now going to stay below this line, stay below this line, stay below this line. And maybe by, let's say, March, we finally get above it, right? So I think, again, look, there's a probability for everything. December, we could get a bullish engulfing candle. Okay, we could get a green to close all the way up here above the red candle. Okay, and that would totally change my view. But what I'm saying is, and I'm being a realist, even though I'm bullish, I have to be a realist with you guys as I always am, which is because we closed below this green line, I feel it has increased the odds that for the next few months, we're going to go sideways and not get above this line. Now, what we want to see ultimately, this green line, I have it set at 19,400. If whenever we do get a monthly close, okay, this is what you want to watch for, a monthly close at or above 19,400, okay? Once we get a close above 19,400, that's when you can start to feel convicted that we're going to see some continued upside to test some of these lower highs here, okay? And we can start pressing up towards, 25,000, 32,000. I didn't know Nick was Eastern Standard Time. Didn't realize that. Okay. So that's what I would watch for on the monthly chart. Ethereum, nothing new here. It's good to see, at least for the current week. It's good to see that we are expressing some strength, and it looks like we want to start to test up into this area I spoke to a few days ago. We'll revisit this at the end of the week. Nothing's changed here on the Ethereum BTC. There's a couple things on the total chart I wanted to quickly speak to. So interestingly enough, even though it is an accurate statement to say Bitcoin has not double bottomed, okay? You can't really call this a true double bottom, okay? We set new lows here. But interestingly enough, when you look at the total and total 2, this to me, at least for the time being, these two lows are very similar in nature, and this does look like a double bottom for the time being. This is on a monthly. I just consolidated the price action on the total cryptocurrency market cap so that we could consolidate the candlesticks so it's less noise and you can see what's going on. This really, it does look like a double bottom that's playing out at the moment. It's a potential double bottom. The other thing that's interesting, if we go to a weekly, okay, and we pull up the RSI, we also have a little bit of bullish divergence playing out here. So let me show this to you. So the other interesting thing that we have here is while price, you see how price has been coming down? See how price has been coming down on the cryptocurrency total market cap, and this is on the weekly? Well, the RSI is actually going up. So we do have bullish momentum. So a couple things here, just to restate everything that I just spoke to. If we consolidate this on a monthly, just so that you can appreciate this more, we have what appears to be a double bottom for the moment, and we have bullish divergence showing up on some of these time frames in the total cryptocurrency market cap. So will we see a bounce in the coming weeks? We'll have to see. Same sort of thing on the total 2. So total 2 is the entire cryptocurrency market cap, but it strips out Bitcoin. Now you can really see that we have a double bottom. Look, I mean, guys, look at this wick. This low was at 430.2. And this low is at 427.6. This is a double bottom, okay? This is like a perfect double bottom. And I'd be willing to bet my Satoshis that there is bullish divergence. Let's just go to the 2-week. Pretty sure I looked at this ahead of the video. Let's go to the 2-week. No, I didn't look at this ahead of the video. So, but I'm willing to bet that there's bullish divergence on the RSI. And we're going to find out together. Yeah, there's even bullish divergence on the 2-week. And if we go to the weekly, again, you can see it. I mean, I don't even really need to draw this. I mean, you can see that the RSI is increasing in value, right? So the RSI is going up, right? Going up, and price is going down. So we got a double bottom on the total 2. We have bullish divergence on the RSI, and we also have a falling wedge on the total 2. So as much emotion as there is in the market right now, these are the things that you want to don't want to lose track of. Just because I stated that I increasingly over time, once we hit this bottom here, I felt that the bottom was in. What did I say to you guys? I said, yeah, once we started getting out a month later and then 2 months later, I was like, yeah, I'm feeling very convicted that the bottom is in. What did I say though? All the conversation was on if the Bitcoin bottom was in. I said, let's stop focusing on if the exact dollar bottom is in. Let's instead focus on, is this a generational buy opportunity? Is this an incredible buying opportunity? So if you had that focus, you were buying in here, and even though we did end up going lower, we didn't go significantly lower, 15.6 or 15.5 as compared to 17.6. That's not a tremendous drop in value. In fact, I want to do the math on that. If I look at 15.5 divided by 17.6 minus 1, that's a 12% drop, okay? That's like going, guys, that's like going from a $10 stock down to like $8.80. That's what that's equivalent to. This was not a large drop, okay? But it's just that I think the biggest thing is, and then I'm going to take any questions that anyone has. I think the biggest thing is we really topped out here. There was so much pessimism here, and then we finally started to make a comeback. And now we've had a long, drawn-out year correction. So it's just been a long, drawn-out correction that is beginning to weed a lot of people out, and I would encourage you not to get weeded out. Bitcoin is not dead. Crypto is not dead. We're going to have another cycle. We're going to have another top. We're going to have new all-time highs. It's just anyone's educated guess as to when. So I hope the beginning part of the live stream really helped you. When we took the DeLorean, we hit 88. This is going to drive me nuts if it's 88 or 92. I think it's 88. We hit 88 miles an hour. We went back in time, and we took a look at all these ridiculous price predictions for Bitcoin when there was mass euphoria in the market. I really hope that was helpful. All right, so let's get into some TA Q&A, not TNA. No titties and ass on this station. Let's get into some TA Q&A, some technical analysis questions and answers. What TA questions do people have for me? What would you like me to chart, or what can I help better explain that I already charted out and spoke to here? Let's see what comments we got here. My focus is on the 3-month BTC chart at the minute. I want to see the next 3-month candle above 18.5. The end of this year. If you check it out, you will see what I mean. Let's check it out together, my friend. You know, it's interesting you bring that up, Crypto Ryan, because I've been a lot more busy with a lot of things going on, but the 3-month chart was something on my mind that I wanted to take a look at. So you're saying 18.5 by the end of this year. So why are you saying 18.5? Let's see this. I don't even know if I would. Okay. No, wait, hold on. You're saying when this candlestick opens now? So if you ask me what I would like to see on the 3-month, well, I'd like to see it close up at about 48,000, but I don't think that's going to happen. So let's be realistic. So what would I like to see? For me, I'm not sure. Actually, I'd be curious. Do you have a video out that explains 18.5? Because, I wouldn't say 18.5. Actually, what I would say, this thing opened at 19.4. Okay? So I'd want this red body on the 3-month to disappear. I'd want this to turn into at least a little bit of a green body, because now you have a hammer, more of a hammer candlestick that would be forming for an indication of a trend reversal. That's what I would want to show. I really have a sore neck. I would want more of a green body to come in here, but that would necessitate closing above 19,400. If we go back, interestingly enough, is that the same price level? Interestingly enough, Crypto Ryan, 19,400 is also the level up here that's critical for us to get back above. So for me, it's all about 19,400. Although I would be curious to see why. Okay, so you're well off. Okay. Yeah, so I would say on the 3-month candlestick, I would say, 19,400. So this month, if something bullish happens, guys, the reality is it's only December 8th. We still have another, 23 days here, okay, until the end of the year. So it's not impossible to push up towards 19,400. We'll have to see. When Bitcoin does move, it moves quickly. Let's see what other questions we have here. Yup, Evan, I just hit on that, 10% off. Oh, Evan, I just covered the stock market. I'm glad you asked the question. And actually just tweeted about it. If you follow me at Crypto Bull God on Twitter, I actually just charted out the Dow Jones and S&P. It's very important to understand what the S&P and Dow Jones are doing. And I just spoke to this on the Bitcoin Crypto Weekly Close. Now, what's interesting is, and I did take a quick look at this, So let me speak to this very quickly. When we look at the S&P, one of the key lines, moving averages to watch for is the 21 EMA, and I've spoken to this in the past. I'm not going to go into all the detail why. But for the moment, we're below this descending resistance, and we can't get back above the 21 EMA since we've closed below. We've had trouble, as you can see here in the past. We need to get above 43.25, because if we get above 43.25, that's going to invalidate this first lower high. That's going to make me feel more confident that we're going to come up and push towards new all-time highs in the S&P. Well, in the past, when both the S&P and the Dow have been below the 21 EMA, they have typically risen at the same time, okay? But the Dow is sort of ahead of the S&P at the moment. It's well above the 21 EMA, and it's also taken out, which is critical to understand, it's taken out this lower high, which is bullish, okay? So is this a leading indicator to tell us this is what's to happen soon for the S&P? I'm asking the question. I'm not saying it will, but I'm posing the question. Whoa, that was close. It's very important to understand what's going on in the stock market, because there is a positive correlation which exists between the stock market and the cryptocurrency market. Crypto assets are risk-on assets. So if the stock market's doing well, crypto's going to do well. If the stock market isn't doing well, crypto won't. Okay, history says that. It's also intuitive and logical. So hopefully that makes sense. Harmony price prediction for 2023 and 25. My outlook for Harmony in terms of its next blow off top, okay, when Bitcoin starts to go above $100,000, like I said, next year, and you have altcoins like Harmony One going massively in value. I do have some price targets. I can tell you they are around $1. I think it's between 80 cents to like $1.20, between 80 cents to $1.20. But what I want to do, in all fairness, is I'd like to reevaluate those price targets once we start to pick up some bullish momentum here in Harmony One's, back up at the 10, 15, 20 cent area. Let's have a conversation about realistically where it's going. But the last time I did look, to directly answer your question, I was eyeing price targets between 80 cents to $1.20. That's what I'm looking at. Great question, Kevin 1. I would never guess based on your name that you're a Harmony One supporter. Never. Jasmy coin. I'm unfamiliar with that one. I'll have to take a look at that one. I haven't taken a look at Jasmy coin. I'm not familiar with that one. You're too weeded out, Ian? Brother, it's not I think you're just trolling, but oh, you'd be too weeded out. Sorry, sometimes when you read something the first time you don't catch it right away. I'm a little slow. You got weeded out, huh? Well, if you're being serious that you did get weeded out and you weren't buying in the $15,000 to $16,000 area, I mean, look, we're at 17,200. We're not far off. So, in my, clearly you can tell in all of my content the price levels that we're at right now. In my educated view, it is an epic, fucking epic buying opportunity. Real quick story for those that are unfamiliar. I got some coins here, physical coins on my desk. Okay, I want to share a quick story, just a quick story with you. Let me see which coin it is. I got a lot of coins, including shitcoin. That's a funny one. I sent that to my brother as a joke. Okay, this is a gold Bitcoin. Okay, see how it's a physical representation of a Bitcoin? People that don't understand cryptocurrency probably think this is a real Bitcoin. Here's my quick story. So my quick story is that in the Christmas of 2018, when Bitcoin had plummeted down to the $3,000 area, I took this and I put it on my parents' dresser. And I said, I want you to remember this because This is an epic buying opportunity in Bitcoin, and anyone that doesn't get in right now is very foolish. I did the similar thing. I think I did a similar thing with my brother and his wife. And I also did a similar thing with someone who I was with at the time, that I lived with. And I did the same thing with her, and I gave her the Bitcoin, and I said, I just want you to remember, because this fucking shit is the best time to get in right now. And if you're not getting in, like, you're going to fucking miss out. We proceeded to go from $3,000 up to $14,000, correct down, back down to around $5,000, and then we went up to $69,000. I am here to fucking tell you, I've been here for a long time, and I cannot guarantee you one single fucking thing. But I am here to tell you this. I have done enough research on this technology to feel adamant that it is a game changer. It is a game changer. It is innovative technology that I am extremely excited about. And there are so many incredible projects out there. And I feel absolutely fucking convicted that things are going astronomically higher. And you will be so sad if you get weeded out. So sad. If it's next year, if it's 2024 and I'm wrong, I could give two fucks less at the end of the day, because I feel uber confident that prices and market capitalization are going a lot higher. So we just need to remain patient. That's what I would say on that. It's the boring accumulation on Harmony One. But Evan, here's the thing, man. I agree, but like, it's the boring accumulation on everything. Like, everything is just fucking boring right now. But if you have extra capital, it's the best time to be buying in my opinion. All right. So if there are no other questions, real quick before everyone departs, I just wanted to say I really appreciate the engagement in particular in today's live stream. A lot of commentary. I like when things are a lot more lively. People have discussion to offer. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment for support. Click the bell icon for notifications. Okay, don't forget to do that, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to aim to get one other video out, whether it be tomorrow or Saturday. Probably Saturday, because I think I have plans tomorrow, so probably Saturday. And then we're going to do the Bitcoin Crypto Weekly close on Sunday, more than likely. I might go back to Sunday. I kind of like doing it on Monday, honestly, the day after. But I'll probably put it on Sunday this week. The Eagles are playing the Giants, and I think that's a 1 o'clock game. So, yeah. So I think we'll do a Sunday night live stream. I love Digibyte too. I am a Digibull. I am a Digibull, YC. Video on Digibyte? Fuck, I can do a video. You want a video on Digibyte? I'm going to do a video on Digibyte. We're going to add that to the list right now. I'm going to add that shit to the list. You know what? Fucking number 5, Digibyte. I got you. You know what? If the crypto maniacs want it, I will supply it. Oh, yeah. All right, everyone, I appreciate the support. Have a good evening. Have a good rest of the week. Tomorrow is Friday. YOLO. Take care, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, spread awareness. Share this video with at least one person. Spread awareness and carry the education forward. I appreciate you guys.